you have a theory on user experience, UX. What is it?
Well, so I wouldn't say that it's my theory. I think that what's interesting is that I believe UX is more important than it has been in a long time, at least in the high tech world. There's so many UX experts out there that know this stuff way better than I do. But generally, what I blogged about recently was that the technology revolution, when we brought computers and networks into businesses, the benefits that we get from that over time have changed. And originally, it was really about big business productivity gains that we were seeing. And then during the 2000s, with the evolution of SaaS and the browser being, the common desktop interface for the users, what we saw were sort of departmental level productivity gains. IT didn't have to be as involved. It was lower cost. Business units themselves could now solve their own problems by buying applications that didn't require all this IT approvals and implementations. So during the 2000s, to me, it was about departmental productivity gains. And now I think what we're at the level of is individual productivity gains. So how can we actually change users' behavior a little bit and see large productivity gains? And I think that's where UX shines. So getting these professional people to engage with customers in a way to figure out how much am I able to get away with changing their normal way of doing things, so that they can see these huge benefits to using a particular application. So I think that's why UX is big now, and I think that's why you hear a lot about UX. And so that there's people around the world that are saying, okay, well, we can't do UX the old way. I was on a panel actually in San Diego with a UX group, and somebody was talking about agile development, and this woman in the audience would raise her hand. She goes, "I can't do, you can't do UX in agile. It takes me 3 months just to schedule an interview with a customer, right?" Well, if you're a startup, you can't run your life that way. You can't run your business that way. You'll fail for sure. So how can we combine lean and the UX? Well, there's a number of thought leaders around the world now that are saying, well, listen, not one pixel more, right? So you're not going to put one pixel more into your UX than accomplishes the goal that you set out for that particular minimum viable product. And so you're following the same lean principles as engineers do when developing the minimal features. Well, the designers need to have that same sort of mentality. I'm not going to do any more design than what's necessary to solve the problem that we're trying to solve. And so what I think is really cool is that I just was talking to a couple of lean UX people back in New York, and these are in bigger companies, and they're going to be in my next book, hopefully, where they're actually forming teams, engineers, designers, product managers, and I would actually even like to see marketing and salespeople included, but I don't see that yet. But they're forming teams around a problem, so they're segmenting correctly. Like I said earlier, it's around users that share the same problem. And then they've got an engineer, a UX person, and a product manager that are developing the solution, and no waste. Everything that they do is only to solve that problem. And so these are in bigger businesses, so I think it's an example of how these lean principles can be used by startups, both small and big, and again, sort of emphasizes the UX component of that.